Gatorade flavored tomatoes? If you saw my wet wilts video, this one, then you'll remember that plants have a little barrier called the Casparian strip, which filters their uptake. This would sort of get in the way of tomatoes uptaking Gatorade to create a tasty, tasty tomatoade. But if I cut the stem of a tomato and sort of get past that whole filtering mechanism, well, I might just be able to create the tastiest invention that mankind and nature have ever cooperatively collaborated. The combining of all the powers of what's good and what's magical in this world. And the spirit of really what carries us all through this tough, tough world. What brings us through on those cloudy days. The Tomatoade. Let's go!
It was a warm, pleasant day, and I was enjoying the sunlight. But my enjoyment didn't last long. I still break out. The next thing I knew, I heard a whirring noise like 100 windmills.
Abruptly, the sound ceased.
All right, so got it cut. Now I've got a few tools to help really speed up the water uptake to hopefully make this work. This is a blue LED light. Blue light helps stimulate the opening of stomata. Stomata are these little pores on leaves that are full of water vapor. And when they open up, that water vapor is released and it creates a suction that goes all the way down the stem, hopefully all the way into the Gatorade, pulling up that sweet, sweet nectar of the gods into these tomatoes. Then put a little bit of fan on there, and airflow will also speed up this process. So when the air is moving across those stomata, it will pull out that water vapor and speed up the process of water uptake. So I'm gonna set a time lapse on this and check back in probably about 6 hours, and hopefully I've got some sweet, sweet tomatoades ready.
Each breath that you take.
So after 6 hours, I checked out one of the tomatoes and did a cross section, and I didn't see any blue. So I let it run for another 6 days, did another cross section of tomato, didn't see any blue this time either. So I checked the stem and I did see blue. So it seems like the glacier freeze made it a little bit up the plant, but not all the way into the tomato. So I thought, well, maybe the sugar made it even if the dye didn't make it to the tomatoes. So I did a Brix test. Brix measures mineral content. It's used as a reference for sugar content in fruit. So I juiced 5 fresh tomatoes. It came out to 8.8 degrees Brix. I juiced 5 tomatoades. It came out to 9.8 degrees Brix. So the tomatoades were sweeter, but I'm not fully convinced that it was due to the glacier freeze. So I'm gonna keep at it. I really want to get a blue tomato that tastes like glacier freeze. So I've got a bunch of other ideas of how to make this work. I hope you joined for part 2 of this series. It's going to get real weird. Oh, real weird. This video was made possible with the support of Hydrofarm. Thanks, Hydrofarm. I like yo stuff.